Seniors from the class of 2023, please come to the office.
And now, another episode of Senioritis.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a impromptu episode 3 here this week. We couldn't go with our typical Thursday or Friday time slot due to some scheduling conflicts. So we're rolling with it this Tuesday. I just recruited 5 seniors from Parts Unknown in the school, and they're joining us today. We're going to do a little Q&A and really focus, I think, on what this group feels like would be some improvements that we could bring to Cromwell High School. So we're going to go around the room. Some of these names will be familiar. They've all participated in the podcast before. So let's go around. They are nervous about this being so impromptu here at the end, but they're going to do an awesome job. So let's go around the room.
Hello, I am Daniel Adrian Tominski. I live on and I'm just really excited to be here.
And we're already off the rails.
I'm Max Lane. This is my second time on the podcast. This is going to be a little scary, this podcast.
I am Jack Wise. I'm not telling anybody my address. This is my third time on the pod as well, and I'm excited.
I'm Donovan Ingalls. I know people have heard of me on this podcast. I think you remember me from the food draft. I think me and my partner Harry got a little bit I don't know. I think we should have won that draft, but it's neither here nor there, but it's whatever.
I'm Harrison Rager. Donovan Ingalls' partner in crime in the last draft.
Yeah.
And I'm hyped for this potty once again, as I said last time.
There you go. That is good. And that's right. I mean, Harrison, you and Donovan are probably a little salty after the...
yeah, they took that out.
Rightfully.
I think there was several people who wanted us to win that didn't vote.
Yeah.
Well, the people
I
spoke.
agree.
The people spoke.
Voter turnout was low, but still, I'd imagine you're a little upset with that. So today's focus, or at least what we're going to try to make the focus today, is essentially, you're seniors, right? You've been in this building for 4 years. You've seen some things that you probably like in the building. You've probably seen some things that you think need improvement, things that we should do differently and whatnot. So does anybody want to start off, like in terms of if you were to give feedback, to us, what would you want to be done differently to improve your high school experience or senior experience?
Smart pass.
I could talk about the smart pass.
Yeah. So it was implemented and saying gives us more freedom, but we still had to ask the teachers to use the bathroom and stuff. So it just added an extra step that I felt was unnecessary.
Smart pass. Jack, you agree with that?
I do agree with that. I think it adds 30 seconds to a rather urgent time of the day. And unnecessary 30 seconds.
Fair point.
I think it feels a little controlling of admin to do that. Kind of like a Big Brother 1984 type thing.
Hey.
Okay.
I was going to say that too.
You're going to roll with that, Tominski, huh? So, would you just say replace it with what we used to have, which was the basic, just get a pass from the teacher?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. I could see us going away from that. Other thoughts? Senior experience. This is tough.
Well, since we're on the bathroom topic,
Oh.
do you guys remember that little hand signal we used to do when you needed to use the bathroom?
The hand signal.
Yeah.
No. Was it elementary school or
back in
something?
I
Wiss.
didn't live here in Wiss. So.
Wiss. There was a hand signal.
Yeah, it was you tuck your thumb in between your pointer and your middle finger, and
No kidding.
you do this.
So it's code.
Yeah, and so it's you don't have to ask. The teacher just sees you doing that. It's you can just go.
How
I
about
gotta
that?
shout
That's a
out
good one.
Miss Holcomb because she's pretty good at that. You can just kind of motion to her, and then she'll.
Yeah, I also got to
Yes,
give,
let you go.
I agree with that.
I got to give Borgia props. I'll just look at him and be like, Borgia. And then he'll be like, all right, yeah. 5 minutes, no more, no less. And then I'm back.
You need to have
There you go.
good vision, good field IQ to be able to make a play like that.
Yeah, you do, huh? You got to think on your feet. There you go. All right. So we've that's one. That's one piece there. What else are you thinking?
Okay, Logan Murray was talking about this earlier. He's doing a speech on it in English about how we should be able to leave for lunch, maybe as seniors, to get food. Because I know other schools do it, like Newington. I know they do.
Newington does that.
Yeah,
Really?
you can leave during lunch to get food or whatever, and then come back. And I think that would be pretty sick.
Now that's not like rumor. That is.
Yeah,
You
no,
played on that Newington co-op team.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
assuming that's where you found that out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like
my,
that.
My mom used to leave school during her high school. for lunch.
Yep. That was really popular, I think, back in the day.
Yeah,
And
I think we
then
should bring it back.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day. I didn't have that in high school. Mr. McGuff, did you have that in high school? No, didn't have that either, huh? Yeah, no. And then issues would pop up with that. So that's interesting. I'll have to reach out to Newington High School then. I'm curious on that in terms of how that actually looks.
I think that like the school probably wouldn't let us leave, but like get food ordered to the school, like DoorDash. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be cool.
Especially like later in the year, like towards the summer, we're all sitting outside eating, and then it's just like, oh, you see the car pull up, you're like, no, that's my food.
Yeah.
And then you go out and get it, and you're like, all right.
So do you know why we don't allow that?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of reasons.
Well, safety. Yeah, we definitely we'll throw that out there from time to time. But also you'd be competing against the CAF.
Oh yeah.
Right, the CAF's plan, like they are your main food source.
Fair enough.
Right, so it's like a non-compete type of.
Yeah, I guess
situation.
Newington is a larger school.
It is.
Say.
It is.
Well, more room for error, you might argue there.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
with a smaller, more close environment at Cromwell with only around 500 students, it seems, and only 150 seniors, it would seem easier to do so.
It would be. Yeah, we can be a lot more flexible in a small school usually. That is interesting, yeah, because Newington High has to have probably 300 seniors, so that's
Yeah.
at least, yeah,
No,
I would say.
they got a lot of kids.
Okay, that's a good one. That's another good suggestion there. What else? Other thoughts? I think the 4-year experience too. I mean, you're obviously you're seniors now, but what do you look back on? If you don't have a lot, then that's great. I'll just assume that
I think
everything else is awesome.
I like the schedule that we had last year. Not the 90-minute classes. That was crazy. But it was more about the fact that, like, you had certain classes one day, and then it's like, if you got homework from a teacher, it's like, got no homework. Like, I barely had homework those days because I finished all in class. I like that schedule. Except for the 90-minute classes. That was crazy.
So you'd like a block.
I honestly, I like
think-
it how we have
I think
it this
the
year.
sophomore year block was probably the best because that was
yeah, we had
80-minute
flex.
period, so it was a little bit
Yeah.
less. And then you still had the flex.
Yep.
You only had the 2 lunch windows, which it would be tough because there we
So
were eating
crowded.
in like 4 different
Yep.
rooms, so you could make it work. But I think having the 80-minute classes, which I thought was bad until we went to the 90-minute classes, you kind of realized how tolerable they were going to the hour-and-a-half block. And I think having the flex was nice. I think working in advisory this year was good. We had flex dating back to like 6th grade,
Yep.
and it was good then. Although I do think this year's schedule is probably the best, given all things considered. I mean, we get the advisory 4 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever.
Yep.
And then also having the 6 periods, I think, is a happy medium in between getting enough classes in where it's not too long, but then also things like early release and late arrival, you still get to, I guess, maximize that window, because if we were back to the 8, we'd be leaving at 1:45. Now we get out at 1:30. It's an extra 15 minutes, and you don't 55 minutes, whatever it is,
Yep.
doesn't feel like you're dying either in class.
Yeah. It's good to hear. I think you touched upon one thing, like with the late arrival, early dismissal. Right now, we really only let you have one, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to talk about that.
Yeah.
Is that? Hey, I won't steal
Yeah.
your thunder, Harrison. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna
Or-
say, I wish we could like, if we had study hall at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, I wish we could come in late and leave early too, like same day. Or if you had 2 study halls at the end of the day, then you can like leave during the first study hall and not have to wait till the second study hall.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying.
How, the rest of the room, you guys agree with that? Having
Yeah.
same day early dismissal?
agree with that.
arrival?
Yeah.
And I think Harry talking about that kind of brings up another thing with having the sign out process. This year has been altered a lot, and I think it's kind of a little absurd having to have that note handed in. By
Oh,
the
you're
parent.
talking about like actual
Yeah,
getting pulled
I
from
mean,
school.
I
Yep.
think-
Yep.
I think it happened out of good reason. I think.
Yeah.
Like there was minor abuse of that rule of just an email.
Yeah.
But I do think it's a little annoying, especially, and I've never really gotten full clarification on this, but us being seniors 18, I don't think we're allowed to sign ourselves out, but I think we probably should.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a you guys thing or like a state thing. But
State.
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But
And that's the same thing with the note. In accordance with like state law, that is what is required for attendance, is to actually submit. So it can definitely be cumbersome for sure, but that is what we have to do. Other thoughts? Those are some good ones on there. So right now we have on the table Smart Pass, getting rid of that. And then combined with that, a WIS hand signal in terms of when we get rid of it, so everyone knows what's going on. And we referenced a few teachers here. The leaving for lunch, which Harrison is claiming Newington High School does, and then as well as, and this for seniors, and then now we're talking about late arrival, early dismissal, same day.
The thing with the same day, I know I like what I'll do because I have a study hall last period and first period on Mondays. I know that some people just don't come to their study hall
Yeah.
and just tank the absence.
Is it someone
I
at
don't
this
know
table,
who-
Daniel? Is that who we're
Who are
referencing?
you talking about?
Who's,
I won't name names.
that's good. I like that. I respect that. That's definitely something that occurs. Yeah, and there's not much. It's not much recourse there, unless you're an athlete, student athlete or something, and you're not in school for the right amount of time, something like that. Mr. Slayton, been quiet over there.
Yeah, it's,
Just taking it in.
well, it's been hard to think of these.
It is hard,
topics.
right?
And as soon as they bring up a topic, I also agree with it. They just thought of it first.
Okay, so now, I think this is a solid list. I mean, is that? Do we have a mildly engaged audience that would want to chime in with a suggestion or no? Salafia shaking his head no.
Oh, Jake would love to be on the
Wants
podcast. I know.
nothing.
He was talking to me last night about how he wants to be on the podcast today.
Really?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, it's too bad.
He looks a little
Too bad.
confused over there.
No,
You probably
yeah,
see
he
his
does.
face. He's like, what's Jake talking
Very
about? Like,
confused.
nah, I know he wants to be on the podcast.
Very confused. Are we missing anything in terms
Jake.
of the senior experience, though? No? What do we got? We got some hand signals. The number of classes? The fact that we have 6? Too many? You want less classes? So the 4. So that seems
Oh,
to be
yeah,
the
yeah.
consensus. The 4 meeting blocks a day is the...
It was so long.
Also,
Right.
I agree. I think
It is.
the grass is always greener on the other side in
No,
a
no.
sense where 80 minutes is a long time.
It's a long time.
And 90 minutes is longer. And I don't think that our audience realizes that.
I don't know if anyone remembers, but like when we had that one schedule where every Wednesday was a half day,
Yep.
Oh, I like that.
That was fun, but
that
I
was
doubt
awesome.
that's possible.
Yeah.
That was probably.
that was just because of COVID and
Exactly.
scheduling. But that was those Wednesdays were awesome.
Do the
Every Wednesday
classes
was a half day.
do the classes fly by for you guys now, though? Like the 53-minute?
I think we have a.
It does feel.
There's definitely
Prospective
some
guest.
classes where you're like, this is taking forever.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Brandon,
that,
you want to
that
jump?
just depends on
We
the
do.
class.
We have one studio guest today.
Can we
There was
play-
a bigger group.
Let's do what
Brandon,
we
what do you got?
What would Pounder do?
I think that's
We were just talking about how the 6 class requirement to have 6 classes is kind of weird
yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
I
like, in the
agree.
past, when we were freshmen, the seniors could only have 3-4 classes and leave. And we need to have 6 or we can't do anything. I think that's a little odd.
Interesting.
I think that's a great point
Yeah.
brought up.
I think.
I
Okay.
could have taken 4 or 5 classes and I would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I had to take 6.
Yes, I did
Yeah.
have to pick up a
Yeah.
Rosetta Stone.
I also know
What's
kids
that
from
like
other
that?
schools that had like 3 classes a day and then just be able to leave.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as seniors too, I think that's part of it. We're trying to balance. We're trying to make sure we're in compliance with like state law, but then at the same time, we want you to be able to leave early, work, right, do what you got to do because you are preparing for college, and I think a lot of students want to do that and maybe even get an internship experience. So I do believe it was 5 when I first got here in terms of
It was.
required classes. Yeah, so that's something to look at too. Good feedback. I think actually we're I don't know. I think we're gonna go no commercial today. Are we all set? Last words. This is pretty good for impromptu. I think you guys did a good job.
I don't know.
Those will be your last words, Harrison.
I
That's good.
mean,
Brandon Barron is the strongest man alive.
yeah, we
There
should
you
do
go.
a What Would Pounder Do segment next time.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
I,
Well,
it's the best segment ever.
I appreciate you guys
segment.
coming in here and giving us some feedback. In terms of that senior experience and things we can do to help out next year's seniors. It's actually very big of you. All giving real.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
suggestions.
I don't know why we're giving suggestions at this
I
point.
don't
We're
really
gone
like
in a
the
month.
juniors.
I don't.
They-
Yeah, no.
So you don't want it to be effective this year. You want it to be effective, 3 years from
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. I appreciate it, and appreciate the feedback. And we will be back with a planned episode 4, and then eventually with this group. I know you had talked about some different good ideas that you have that you're trying to get in here, and we'll explore some of those options and see how many of these we can get in. Thank you, everybody, and audience. Thank you for listening.